Lagos, the nation's commercial capital. This is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Yemba Umar.
Hello and welcome. Police uncover illegal orphanage suspected to be involved in child trafficking and kidnapping in Kano, rescues 27 children from facility. Humanitarian crisis brews in Niger State as about 1,000 residents of Shiroro and Munya communities are displaced from their homes following attacks by suspected bandits. President Muhammad Buhari meets with Nigerians in the United Kingdom ahead of the UK-Africa Summit, receives title belts from British-Nigerian-born heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua in London. A United Nations Libya's envoy, Ghassan Salame, calls on foreign powers to stop meddling in the country's civil war, accuses them of creating a vicious cycle of violence in the North African nation.
Business news tonight. NNPC lowers February official selling price for Bonny Light and Kwa Ibo crude stream as hangover of unsold cargoes remain for export to the international market.
And on sports news tonight, world number one Ashley Barty receives major boost ahead of the Australian Open after beating Diana Yastremska 6-2, 7-5 to win the Adelaide International.
The security tension in some northern states was today heightened with the clashes between farmers and herders in Jigawa, the rescue operation and subsequent killing of 2 bandits in Katsina, and the displacement of over 500 people in Niger State. The discovery of an illegal orphanage suspected to be involved in child trafficking and kidnapping in Kano State is also on the front burner tonight. And that's where we take up from. Our correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that police authorities in Kano have rescued 27 children suspected to have been kidnapped or born for trafficking at the Dumimirchi orphanage in Kano. His report.
This house looks like orphanage home, but part of the police investigation shows that it's actually a baby-making factory, allegedly for trafficking. So far, 27 children were rescued here, presumably sold out. Mr. Solomon Tafa, a self-acclaimed professor and owner of an illegal orphanage located at Iroku Avenue, Sabongari in Kano State, and wife allegedly pick up children and pregnant women in distress, care for them, and after delivering their babies, house some and give others out in exchange for money.
We were able to rescue 9 children here. After the arrest, he was not able to present any document that shows how these children are being sourced. Do you know your father?
23-year-old Mercy was brought to the center at the age of 3. She lived here until she was given out in marriage by Mr. Tafa. Just like Mercy, these innocent children were for long hidden from the outside world.
This Moima is from the orphanage.
Police investigations reveals that this hospital, which is opposite the supposed orphanage, has been playing a significant role in the operation.
He procured pregnant women, give them all the necessary proper antenatal attention and care. After delivery, he then handed over the newly born babies to the owner of the orphanage home.
Although many children are still unaccounted for, the suspect argues that his organization is registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission.
We are registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission, registered with 10 board men of trustees that are the directors. For how long have you been running? It's been long. We've been running the home for close to about, we started about 1992, but officially opened in 96. Women Affairs and Social Development, I'm registered with them. The children, they are from many sources.
When contacted, the Kano State Commissioner of Women Affairs and Social Development, Zahra Umar, says Mr. Solomon has not registered with the ministry and that there is no record showing the existence of any domestic children home in the state, although other alleged accomplices are still at large. The police say investigation is ongoing and the children are now in the custody of the Kano State Children's Home, while the alleged illegal baby-making factory remains under lock and key. Idris Jubrin, Channels Television News.
From Kano, we'll move on to Niger State, where armed men have attacked 8 communities in Shiroro and Munya local government areas of the state, killing 2 persons, including a village head, and abducting over 30 others. The fresh attacks, which began on Tuesday, have also left over 1,000 persons displaced. Our correspondent, Emperor Simon, reports.
Children left on their own, heading to the IDP camp in Kota. More than 1,000 persons, mostly women and children, are taking shelter at this primary school in Kuta in Shuru local government.
As of yesterday evening, what we have is 750 people, but the figure keeps changing. You know, the situation of IDP camp is not a static situation.
What is happening so far, you can see, these are the refugees that run from Zongoro community, Masuku community, and Magoga, because of the bandits attacked on 14th January 2020. So they have no place to put themselves unless in camp here.
The renewed attacks by the bandits have brought untold hardship on the locals.
5 days ago, the first attack, which they kidnapped 17 people in 3 communities. 5 communities were affected, but 3 communities it was in the 3 communities they kidnapped 17 people. Day before yesterday also, they kidnapped 5 people in Lukope, though it was 6, they released 1. And day before yesterday again, in another community, they killed the district head and also kidnapped his son.
They are also appealing to the federal government to deploy troops to the state, particularly the local government areas affected.
Meanwhile, 2 suspected kidnappers in Katsina State ran out of luck today as the police shot them dead, arrested one of their gang members and rescued a victim of a kidnap syndicate in their hideout at Yer Talata village. The Katsina State Police Commissioner, Sanusi Buba, explains that SARS commander and his team, acting on intelligence reports, stormed the camp of a notorious kidnap kingpin, where a kidnapped victim was held hostage. In the meantime, a clash between farmers and herdsmen in Fulata village in Tora local government area of Jigawa State has left 10 persons injured, with over 500 others displaced and several houses burnt. Eyewitnesses say that the attack was carried out by foreign herders called the UDS, since the native Hausa members of the community, who are mostly farmers and Fulani herdsmen, have always lived together in peace. Police authorities, however, said that normalcy has returned to the area after officers were deployed to the troubled village. For Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, the construction of a cattle grazing settlement and the milk farm project at Damo in Kubo local government area of the state is one of the best ways to end the incessant conflicts between herders and farmers. The state government, in collaboration with the Miyat Allah Cattle Breeders Association and a Danish dairy farm, Arla, believe that the project is not only a pragmatic and sustainable solution to security challenges, it will also help expand national capacity in the production of high-quality milk and reduce overdependence on importation of dairy products into the country.
The Kaduna State government signed a memorandum of understanding with global dairy giant Allah to transform the livestock sector in the state. Both sides committed to work on a project designed to change livestock production from a culture into a business. Kaduna State government, with the support and assistance of the Central Bank of Nigeria and Allah of Denmark, agreed to invest in a project that will create jobs in the livestock sector, promote economic development, and help resolve what has become a security problem by demonstrating a viable alternative to the itinerant rearing of cattle and sheep. We are persuaded that not only a business model can sustainably sedentarize pastoralists, infuse modern technology into livestock production, improve yields, empower farmers, and replace strife with prosperity.
The Air Force is also concerned about the security situation in the country, and it is saying that the ongoing Operation Rattlesnake is degrading the activities of Boko Haram to pave way for the activities of ground forces involved in the fight against insurgency. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, mentioned this in Lagos during a visit to the hangar where a periodic depot maintenance of a second C-130 Hercules plane is being concluded.
This is the second aircraft, of course. We are doing PDM locally in Nigeria, and very soon we are preparing for the third C-130. I believe at the end of that one, we should have developed sufficient capacity to be able to handle PDM locally in Nigeria. Rattlesnake, we have substantially achieved what we set out to achieve in terms of degrading the capacity of Boko Haram. The operation is still ongoing. The objective is to ensure that we create an enabling environment for our ground forces to be able to conduct their own operations without any hindrance. And I think we are doing that very well.
Away from security matters to, and of course, outside of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari today received British-Nigerian-born heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua in London, where the world champion presented his belts to the president. Joshua had promised to present the belts to President Muhammadu Buhari after he won them back from Andy Ruiz Jr. in Saudi Arabia. The 30-year-old, who holds the WBA, IBF, WBO and IBO titles, represents Britain, but he is of Nigerian descent. He is looking forward to having a world title fight here in Nigeria. The president's meeting with Anthony Joshua and other Nigerians in the diaspora was put together by Nigeria in Diaspora Commission as part of activities lined up on the sidelines of the inaugural UK-Africa Economic Summit, which holds on Monday. In the meantime, ahead of that Monday's UK-Africa Investment Summit in London, the special advisor on media and publicity to President Muhammadu Buhari, Mr. Femi Adesina, has been speaking on the importance of the event. Mr. Adesina told our London correspondent, Juliana Olayinka, that similar summits that Nigeria has participated in recent times have yielded positive results.
New vistas for Nigeria, for Africa as a continent, but for Nigeria particularly, since that should interest us more, in the areas of investment, trade, and jobs. Those are things we need in Nigeria. We need a lot more investment. We can do with a lot more trade. Nigeria currently has the highest trade volume with the United Kingdom in Africa, but we need a lot more. When you go on these investment trips, it's not a one-way traffic. It's something that should be mutually beneficial. UK is not opening up investment talks with Africa now because they will be coming in like Father Christmas. No. It's something that will be mutually beneficial. For instance, there is a lot being done in infrastructure in Nigeria today. Majority of it is in collaboration with China. How would we have got that if the president hadn't paid an official visit to China or attended the FOCAC, Forum of China-Africa Cooperation? He has attended it twice, I think once in South Africa, the other one in Beijing. So we can't afford to just sit pretty at home and bemoan our fate. Rather, we should go after opportunities.
In part two, after the break, former governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, has said that Supreme Court judgment sacking him from office came as a shock, but pledges commitment to democracy in Nigeria. That's after this break. Join us again.